Welcome to VFILES.DATA.
Dennis Keith Rodman is a 54-year-old American man who spent the majority of his childhood in Dallas, Texas. He and his two sisters both enjoyed playing the sport, basketball, growing up. Rodman is famous for a variety of reasons, including but not limited to his success in basketball, professional wrestling, his highly publicized relationships with Madonna and Carmen Electra, visits to North Korea, befriending Kim Jong Un, and his fashion statements. It is on the last subject that data will be transmitted. Fashion statements are also known as, quote, looks. However, looks are not only limited to the arrangement of garments. Looks can also describe the bearing, aspect, demeanor, or general impression a human being exudes. Rodman was drafted by the Detroit Pistons basketball team in 1986. His outward appearance remained conventional. Dennis Rodman first began to distinguish himself stylistically from the other basketball players by dyeing his hair. Because human hair continuously grows, dyed hair colors are impermanent. Nonetheless, atypical hair patterns differentiated him from others. While playing for the basketball team the Chicago Bulls, Rodman used colored pigments to produce the semblance of a bull, otherwise identified as an uncastrated adult male cow. Dennis Rodman also did not dye his hair monochromatically, the most typical of hair dye jobs for humans. Rodman's style also incorporated piercing, or body modification, achieved with a stainless steel implement puncturing the epidermis. While piercing has been ubiquitous in human cultures since antiquity, Rodman's were unique in their placement, in tandem with his atypical behavior. In addition to visually distinguishing himself, Dennis Rodman also achieved abnormally high basketball statistics. The National Basketball Association has said that Rodman is, quote, arguably the best rebounding forward in NBA history. Dennis Rodman achieved as large a presence, quote, off the court, as he did while competing in professional basketball. In the early 1990s, Rodman dated Madonna, a woman who, according to data, produced quite a number of controversies herself. Dennis Rodman symbolically married himself in 1996. This marriage came in tandem with his autobiography. The autobiography title, Bad As I Wanna Be, suggested Rodman acted without regard for prevailing cultural norms. In response to Dennis Rodman wearing a wedding dress, a small clay Rodman effigy appeared on television. The, quote, claymation television program depicted Dennis Rodman interacting with his Chicago Bulls teammate, Michael Jordan. Many consider Michael Jordan to be the greatest basketball player of all time. Michael Jordan wins the match by slam dunking, a basketball term for thrusting the ball, in this case Rodman's head, forcefully down a hole. Dennis Rodman engaged in legal matrimony with Carmen Electra, an American glamour model. They were wed in Las Vegas, Nevada. The wedding was annulled 9 days later. In 2004, Dennis Rodman participated in a campaign for PETA, or People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, an animal rights group. The campaign was called Ink Not Mink, and Rodman posed nude in order to intimate that he refused to wear animal skins to cover his body. Dennis Rodman instead had elected to cover his body with tattoo ink. Rodman did, however, drink the milk of animals, as evidenced by his participation in the, quote, Got Milk campaign, created for the California Milk Processor Board. After retiring from the NBA, Rodman briefly competed in professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is a form of theatrical physical battle, which normally does not result in serious injury. Rodman's look for his first feature film debut was that of an eccentric Belgian arms dealer. Dennis Rodman received 3 Golden Raspberry Awards for Worst New Star, Worst Supporting Actor, and Worst Screen Couple. The other half of this couple was action film actor Jean-Claude Van Damme. In Dennis Rodman's next role, he portrayed an agent for the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, who attempts to thwart an arms dealer. It is unclear if Dennis Rodman has serious interest in arms, or arms dealing. In his third film in 3 years, Dennis Rodman played a parachutist, who severs his spinal column mid-air, after colliding within an air parachutist formation, formed by many people holding hands. It wouldn't be until 2007 that Rodman was in another film, titled The Minis. The single-sentence plot summary on IMDb, or the Internet Movie Database, is, quote, "dwarfs playing basketball." With Dennis Rodman. For the release of his second autobiography, titled I Should Be Dead by Now, Dennis Rodman appeared at a Borders bookstore, in a coffin, dressed as a cadaver bearing a striking resemblance to the fictional character Beetlejuice, previously portrayed by actor Michael Keaton. In promoting the same book, Dennis Rodman also wore dramatic eyeshadow, falsified eyebrows, lipstick, and a voluminous blonde mohawk wig. The mid-2000s saw Rodman appear on a variety of celebrity-based reality TV shows, like the aforementioned professional wrestling. Reality TV's authenticity, or reality, is often called into question. In one similar reality show titled The Celebrity Mole, Rodman won $220,000 for outsmarting other celebrities. Dennis Rodman appeared as a plaintiff on the televised small claims court show, Judge Bureau. He alleged that his former assistant gambled away $4,000 of Dennis Rodman's dollars in Las Vegas, Nevada. After Dennis Rodman's initial run of celebrity-based reality shows, Rodman then appeared on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. Rodman was unforthcoming with the doctor about his alcoholism and entered a medical facility 3 weeks later. This was also filmed for a show called The Sober House. Sober House was also produced by VH1. During this show, he reunited with his mother, with whom a relationship is important for the psychological health of most adult humans. Rodman's latest looks might be characterized as political. Beginning in 2013, he began to make trips to North Korea to visit confidant and supreme leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Kim Jong Un. A cessation of Rodman's sobriety from his time at Sober House 2 was confirmed when he gave an incoherent and hostile interview with CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, for which he later apologized. This was followed by another interview on ABC. In it, he proposed the highly implausible scenario that diplomatic relations between Supreme Leader Kim Jong Un and President Barack Obama might be achieved through their shared interest in basketball. Rodman's latest look is also political in nature, with his implied endorsement of presidential candidate Donald Trump. Those in the public eye who do so are thenceforth largely confined to this look. Data transmission complete.